Hello everyone, my name is Blake and this is Walk the Parks. Today we're just going to do a little bit of exploring the Valley of the Goblins. Now this is the main attraction of Goblin Valley State Park in Utah. So we're going to kind of check it out, go through some information about the hike and about the park in general. First we're looking at a bunch of the different signs that you'll encounter along the way. Don't worry, I'll read all those soon. This is entering the parking lot. This video is sped up, I didn't go that far. This is pretty early in the morning, so there's really no one here. I just wanted to kind of give an overview so people can see how big the parking lot is. Next up, we are just there is a big pavilion here. There's really kind of all options here. Number one, this place is awesome for families. You can go just a short distance and have a super cool experience, as you'll see soon. Or, as you can see, those who, might have some sort of accessibility issue, you could hang out right here, have a picnic up here, enjoy the shade. There are also a number of bathrooms here as well. So take note, on either end of the bathroom or either end of the parking lot, there are bathrooms. And as you can see, there is also a number of garbage bins. So take that as you will. One thing I kind of want to get out of the way, and that is Goblin Valley State Park is truly amazing. It's an awesome place and totally worth spending some time. There are a lot of national parks in the surrounding area, just within, really a few hours of this park. Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Arches, Bryce, and Zion are all within a few hours, but I would argue strongly that Goblin Valley is worth the visit. Goblin Valley State Park is so cool. They have some of the most unique hiking experiences. Goblin's Lair is so neat. This area right here is absolutely amazing. The Entrada Canyon is cool. The campground is beautiful. It really offers an awesome experience. So if you're in this area, I would go for it. So as you kind of go down the stairs here, and you see kind of a trail off to the right that heads over to some restrooms, but we're going to head down to the left to start exploring the Valley of the Goblins. Now, there's not really a designated trail down here, which is actually pretty awesome. And I say it's pretty awesome because you can kind of go anywhere and explore everything. So in this video, we're just going to do a short hike together and explore just a very tiny bit of the valley. But the cool thing is like if you have small kids and you don't want to travel far or it's hot, you can kind of stay near to the parking lot and just explore a little bit so you don't end up overheating or overexhaustion or get the kids in a mood. Alternatively, if you're looking for some solitude, there's actually 3 valleys in the Valley of the Goblins, so you can just keep walking. If you just go to one of the other farther away valleys, you're kind of not guaranteed, but it's much more likely that you won't see anyone. And it does provide a really cool adventure, and it's not too difficult to get lost. Obviously keep your bearings, make sure you have a map with you and things like that, but even though there's no trail, you can kind of just keep going and then kind of keep going back. You can see there's kind of a wall of kind of mountains there that'll keep you in on this side. And so obviously be careful, but at the same time, enjoy exploring. What an awesome place. So, there's really cool stuff. As I mentioned, Goblin's Lair is amazing. Entrada Canyon. Just outside the park, there's a slot canyon called Little Wild Horse Slot Canyon. And the awesome thing about Little Wild Horse Slot Canyon is, number one, it's non-technical. A lot of slot canyons require some sort of rappelling or canyoneering experience. Little Wild Horse Slot Canyon, you can drive up with a 2-wheel drive vehicle, and the slot canyon itself is awesome. So there's another good kind of family-friendly adventure. And even though, this area does get popular, as does Little Wild Horse Slot Canyon, it can maybe potentially have a little bit less crowds than some of the surrounding national parks. So keep that in mind, and it's awesome. So we're in this place called Goblin Valley State Park, right? And this is the Valley of the Goblins. This is the main attraction to the park. And what is a goblin? So we're kind of looking at them all around. It's these little kind of rocky guys. They would be referred to as hoodoos in kind of the more technical sense. But they're very cool. A lot of them are like kind of human-sized, maybe a little bigger, some a little smaller. Very cool. So next up, I am just going to go through and read all of the signs that we kind of quickly passed. So this is like nowhere else. Imagine the Jurassic period, 140 to 170 million years ago. This area was on the edge of a shallow inland sea. Tidal deposits of sand, silt, and clay sediment were left here. Over millions of years, these distinct layers hardened to become the sandstone, siltstone, and shale layers of the Entrada Sandstone Formation. The Entrada can be seen here and in many areas across southern Utah, including Arches National Park, where the sandstone is harder. Why are there so many goblins here and not in a large concentration anywhere else? While this area was a tidal flat, the area of Arches National Park was dry and covered in sand dunes. The resulting rocks determined the effects of wind and water erosion. The alternating layers of hard sandstone and soft siltstone created goblins here, and the hard sandstone left from ancient sand dunes created the fins and arches in Arches National Park. Did you know that the Valley of the Goblins is continually eroding? Even though very little change will be seen in our lifetime, old goblins will fall, allowing for a new generation of goblins to be created. Although erosion is a natural process, it can be accelerated by human impact. Please hike with care and respect this special place. Valley of the Goblins. Let the goblins, balanced rocks, and towering spires flood your imagination. You may wander down into the valley by the pathway to your right. Can I climb on the goblins? Exploring is a big part of the park experience. However, we do not recommend climbing on the goblins. Rock surfaces may be unstable. The most common accidents in the park are falls. Remember, Goblin Valley is extremely remote and a long way from medical services. Hike at your own risk. And do keep in mind, you are sort of close to Hanksville, Utah, but Hanksville is a very small town. The nearest, I guess Green River and then Moab. Really, you're in a super remote place here, so definitely keep that in mind. Does hiking on the goblins destroy them? People do have an effect on the Goblin Valley landscape. To better understand how much of the impact we have, the park is implementing a long-term erosion study. The study will be comparing erosion rates in high traffic areas to erosion rates in low traffic areas. With this information, we hope to balance visitor recreation and park protection in the future. Did you know that summer temperatures can soar over 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius? Carry and drink at least half a gallon or 2 liters of water. The nearest bright lights are over 10 miles away. Be prepared for evenings of complete darkness and incredible stars. And I just want to emphasize how absolutely amazing that is. The sky around this whole area is absolutely stunning. If you're ever around this region at night, make sure to kind of get out and check out the beautiful stars because it can truly be spectacular. I believe this area is the most remote in the lower 48. There's also some mountains called the Henry Mountains that are a bit south of the park, and those are also the most remote in the lower 48. So without hesitance, this is an incredibly remote area. All right, once upon a dark sky night. This is back to the signs. Skies are darker and stars shine brightest away from city lights. Goblin Valley State Park has one of the darkest skies on Earth. Enjoy the unique view of a star-filled sky over the Valley of the Goblins after sunset. Set out to see celestial wonder with these stargazing tips. Chart your start. Study a star chart before you set out. Choose a celestial object and find out what time it will be in view. Comfortable viewing. Bring out the blankets and pull up a chair. Looking straight up in the sky for a long time can be a pain in the neck. Lights out. Switch your flashlights off. It takes 15 minutes to develop your night vision to see fainter stars. Red light is less harmful to night vision. Sky landmarks. Look for stars and formations you know, like the Big Dipper or Summer Triangle. Use your landmark to find 3 new constellations. Spy in the sky. Keep an eye out for objects in the sky. Planets, meteors, and satellites often make guest appearances. Measuring one of the darkest skies on Earth. A night sky team from the National Park Service took the above photo to measure the quality of our night sky from the Valley of Goblins observation point. The team's conclusion? With minimal cloud cover and almost no light pollution, this is one of the darkest skies in the world. The rainbow-like band in the center of the image is the Milky Way, which 2/3 of Americans can no longer view from their homes. Few people have seen the Milky Way shine as brilliantly as it does here. Awesome. Seafront property. Millions of years, tons of pressure, and relentless erosion create a bizarre landscape. Forget the baked, hot desert where you now stand. Instead, rewind 170 million years to the Jurassic period, and you would be on seafront property. During this period, Goblin Valley was a muddy tidal flat along an inland sea. The waves of the tidal flat deposited sand, silt, and clay. With pressure and time, the sediment became the goblin-forming Entrada Formation. Desert nightlife. To cope with the extreme temperatures, many animals are active at night. Where are all the animals? At first glance, Goblin Valley seems like a barren, desolate place. But look again. This area is home to tough, innovative animals adapted to this desert environment. Many desert animals are nocturnal, meaning they're active at night. This adaptation allows them to seek the cover of darkness and avoid scorching heat. Plants and animals at Goblin Valley have only a slight edge over their environment. Please don't chase or harass wildlife. They need all of their energy to survive. And you might see something that looks like a deer here if you're not familiar with the area, but it could be a deer, but it's most likely a pronghorn, which is a more like an antelope than a deer. They're very cool animals. They can also run extremely fast. They actually don't even know why they can run so fast because there's no predators that are able to run that fast. So maybe a long time ago there were some really fast predators. So as you can see, if you've been just watching the video, we're kind of exploring, and this is what you can do, right? You can just kind of go wherever you want, go as far as you want, and it's really, truly spectacular. I'm kind of just headed back up to the parking lot because the intention of this video wasn't to do a full exploration, but rather just to show you what it's like here. And I hope, the point of most of my videos that have been making hiking anyway are to kind of take over where guidebooks stop, right? You can read an article, you can check out a website, you can look at your app, but I like actual videos and start to finish. If you get annoyed by me, you can always mute me, but I'd like to kind of check this out and kind of give people the option to see what it is really like. Also, there's a number of reasons why most people on Earth will probably never come to Goblin Valley State Park for whatever reason that may be. So hopefully this video can get you a little bit closer in kind of a more unedited fashion. Lastly, I think some of my videos would be cool or just to keep on in the background, or if you're at the gym or something like that. Maybe not this video in particular, but I do have some much, much longer hikes that would be good for that. So what do you guys think? Are you going to come to the Goblin Valley State Park after checking this out? I would highly recommend it. It's incredibly amazing and beautiful. And as I said, even if you just come here, it's awesome. There is a fee to come in. I think it was around $20 per vehicle at the time of making this. However, that may change. Don't quote me there. There is a small visitor center. The campground itself is really cool too. There are reservations available for it online. It is very cool. There are some showers in the campground, which are nice, and nice toilet facilities, as well as each site has a shaded picnic table, which is really nice in the desert. So that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to go or if you went. Would love to hear about it. And you can also check out, I have some other videos on this park. Have a wonderful day.